From ashes to inspiration, transforming pain into purpose. Have you ever wondered how some people manage to rise from the depths of despair, not just surviving, but thriving? Today, we're going to explore a journey so profound, so transformative, that it will challenge everything you thought you knew about resilience, faith, and the human spirit. I'm here to share with you the incredible insights I gained from interviewing Teshia Milton, a woman whose story of loss and rebirth has the power to change lives. Teshia isn't just a survivor. She's a beacon of hope, a testament to the indomitable human spirit, and a living example of how we can turn our deepest pain into our greatest purpose. Imagine, if you will, a period of just 7 months. For most of us, that's barely enough time to adjust to a new job or settle into a new home. But for Teshia Milton, those 7 months between July 2021 and February 2022 became a crucible of loss and transformation that would forever change the course of her life. In that short span, Teshia experienced the unimaginable, the loss of 8 loved ones, each one dear to her heart. Let that sink in for a moment. 8 loved ones in just 7 months. It's a number that staggers the mind and wounds the heart. It began with the passing of her godmother, a woman who had been like a second mother to her. The pain of that loss was still fresh when tragedy struck again. This time, it was Teshia's own mother who succumbed to COVID-19, the only member of her family who didn't survive the virus. But the losses didn't stop there. Close family members, friends, even her principal and a supportive fraternity brother, one by one, they were taken from her. Each loss was a blow, each one leaving its mark on Teshia's heart and soul. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and really consider what that must have felt like, to lose not one, not two, but 8 people you love in such a short time. The grief, the pain, the overwhelming sense of loss, it's almost unimaginable. For many of us, such a series of tragedies would be enough to break us completely. But here's where Teshia's story takes an unexpected turn. In the midst of her grief, she found an unlikely source of solace in sharing her journey with others. Encouraged by the words of her late fraternity brother, Teshia embraced a new role as a motivational speaker. She began hosting therapeutic conversations and live Facebook sessions, discussing what she calls the ABCs of experiencing life, love, and loss. This act of sharing, of opening up about her pain and her journey, became a lifeline for Teshia. It led to the creation of her talk show, Manifest Life with Teshia, where she connected with a live audience to share her experiences. Through this platform, Teshia found a way to transform her pain into purpose, her grief into growth. But Teshia's journey isn't just about overcoming loss. It's about the power of faith and the strength we can find when we're at our most vulnerable. Throughout her ordeal, Teshia was guided by her faith. She strived to manifest what she believed God had spoken, holding on to the power of his words even in her darkest moments. This journey of healing and discovery inspired Teshia to create a life affirmation book and journal. Through these endeavors, she aims to inspire others to find strength in their own brokenness and to recognize the blessings that can come from being used by a higher power. Teshia's story teaches us 3 powerful lessons that I believe can transform all of our lives. First, there's the power of embracing vulnerability. In a world that often equates vulnerability with weakness, Teshia's experience shows us that true strength lies in opening up about our struggles. By sharing her story of loss and grief, Teshia not only found a path to her own healing, but also created a space for others to find comfort and inspiration in their own journeys. Think about it. How often do we hide our pain, our struggles, our fears, believing that showing them makes us weak? But what if, like Teshia, we chose to embrace our vulnerability? What if we saw it not as a weakness to be hidden, but as a strength to be shared? Vulnerability is not about exposing our weaknesses. It's about having the courage to be authentically ourselves, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about acknowledging our pain, our fears, our insecurities, and allowing others to see them. This act of openness creates connections, fosters empathy, and allows for genuine human interaction. When Teshia chose to share her story, she wasn't just talking about her losses. She was inviting others into her healing process, creating a space where others could feel safe to share their own stories. This is the true power of vulnerability. It creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to open up and fostering a community of support and understanding. The second lesson is about faith and resilience. Teshia's journey teaches us that even in our darkest moments, faith can be a guiding light. It's not about blind optimism or denying the reality of our pain. Rather, it's about finding a source of strength that can carry us through when everything else seems lost. For Teshia, this faith was rooted in her belief in a higher power. But regardless of our individual beliefs, we can all learn from her resilience. It's about holding on to hope, even when hope seems impossible. It's about believing that there's meaning to be found, even in our suffering. Resilience isn't about bouncing back as if nothing happened. It's about growing through our challenges, about becoming stronger and wiser because of what we've endured. Teshia's faith gave her the strength to not just survive her losses, but to find meaning in them, to use them as a catalyst for personal growth and for helping others. This kind of resilience is something we can all cultivate. It's about developing a mindset that sees challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. It's about believing in our own capacity to overcome, to adapt, to find new ways forward, even when the path seems unclear. And finally, Teshia's story teaches us about transforming pain into purpose. In the face of overwhelming loss, Teshia found a way to use her experience to help others. She turned her grief into a platform for inspiration, her pain into a source of strength for those around her. This is perhaps the most powerful lesson of all. It suggests that our darkest moments don't have to define us. Instead, they can become the foundation for something meaningful, something that not only helps us heal, but also allows us to make a positive impact on the world around us. Transforming pain into purpose isn't about denying our suffering or pretending it didn't happen. It's about finding meaning in our experiences, about using what we've learned to help others to create positive change in the world. It's about taking the wisdom we've gained through our struggles and using it to light the way for others who might be walking similar paths. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good for Teshia, but my life is different. My struggles are different. And you're right, each of our journeys is unique. But the principles that guided Teshia through her darkest times can apply to all of us, regardless of our specific circumstances. Consider for a moment the challenges you faced in your own life. Maybe you've experienced loss, like Teshia, or perhaps you've struggled with failure, with disappointment, with fear. We all have our own stories of pain and struggle. The question is, how can we use these experiences to grow, to heal, to inspire? Let me share with you another story that illustrates this principle. It's the story of Janice Bryant Howroy, a woman who transformed her experiences of adversity into remarkable success. Born in the segregated South in 1952, Janice faced challenges that many of us can scarcely imagine. Racial discrimination, extreme poverty, these were the realities of her early life. But Janice didn't let these circumstances define her. Instead, she used them as fuel for her ambition. She focused on education, on entrepreneurship, on creating opportunities where none seemed to exist. Today, Janice is the founder of the Actone Group, a billion-dollar company. She's the first African-American woman to build a billion-dollar business. Janice's story, like Teshia's, shows us the incredible potential we all have to transform our challenges into triumphs. It's not about denying the reality of our struggles or pretending that overcoming them is easy. It's about recognizing that within each challenge lies the seed of an opportunity for growth, for learning, for transformation. But here's the thing. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It requires conscious effort, a willingness to face our pain head on, and the courage to share our stories with others. This is where vulnerability comes in. When Teshia began sharing her experiences of loss and grief, she was taking a risk. Opening up about our pain isn't easy. It makes us feel exposed, vulnerable. But it's in this vulnerability that we often find our greatest strength. By sharing her story, Teshia created a space for others to share theirs. She showed people that it's okay to grieve, to struggle, to feel lost. But more than that, she showed them that it's possible to find meaning in that struggle, to use it as a catalyst for growth and change. This is the power of vulnerability. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. It helps us realize that we're not alone in our struggles, and it gives us the courage to face our challenges head on, knowing that there's strength to be found in our shared experiences. But vulnerability isn't just about sharing our pain. It's also about being open to new possibilities, to new ways of thinking and being. When Teshia embraced her role as a motivational speaker, she was stepping into unfamiliar territory. She was vulnerable, not just in sharing her story, but in trying something new, in believing that her experiences could make a difference in the lives of others. This willingness to be vulnerable, to step outside our comfort zones, is often where true growth happens. It's where we discover strengths we never knew we had, where we find purpose in our pain. Now, I want to challenge you as you listen to Teshia's story, as you reflect on your own experiences. I want you to consider how you can embrace vulnerability in your own life. What stories have you been holding back? What pain have you been hiding? What dreams have you been too afraid to pursue? Imagine for a moment what might happen if you chose to share your story, if you chose to be vulnerable about your struggles, your fears, your hopes. How might it change your life? How might it impact the lives of those around you? This is the challenge I want to leave you with today. Reflect on your own experiences of loss and adversity. Consider how you can transform these experiences into platforms for growth and inspiration. By embracing vulnerability and sharing your stories, you can find strength in your own brokenness and inspire others to do the same. Remember, your story matters. Your struggles, your triumphs, your journey, they all have the power to inspire and transform, but only if you have the courage to share them. As we come to the end of this talk, I want to leave you with a call to action that I hope will resonate deep within your soul. I challenge you to take a leap of faith, to step out of your comfort zone, and to embrace the power of your own story. Start by acknowledging your pain, your struggles, your losses. Don't hide from them or try to bury them. Instead, look at them squarely in the eye. Recognize them for what they are, not just sources of pain, but potential well springs of strength and wisdom. Then take the brave step of sharing your story with someone. It doesn't have to be on a grand scale like Teshia's talk show. Start small, share with a friend, a family member, or even in a support group. Be vulnerable, be authentic, be you. But don't stop there. Look for ways to transform your pain into purpose. Ask yourself, how can my experiences help others? What have I learned that could make a difference in someone else's life? Maybe it's starting a blog, volunteering for a cause close to your heart, or simply being there for someone who's going through something similar to what you've experienced. Remember, every great movement, every positive change in this world started with one person who dared to speak up, who dared to be vulnerable, who dared to turn their pain into purpose. You have that power within you. Your story, your struggles, your triumphs, they all matter. They all have the potential to create ripples of change that can transform not just your life, but the lives of countless others. So I challenge you, don't let your pain define you. Let it refine you. Let it be the catalyst for your growth, your transformation, your purpose. Be brave, be vulnerable, be the change you want to see in the world. Because when you do, when you embrace your story and share it with others, you're not just healing yourself, you're helping to heal the world. Thank you.